The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros. Should Danny Garcia retire after lackluster performance against Erislandy Lara? So, if you watch the fight, I'm not even going to put on the highlights because they might put you to sleep. It was reminiscent of Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos, basically. But Trill Dollar Bill. After watching that fight, one, what's your reaction to that fight? And two, do you think that Danny Garcia should retire?
Uh, the reaction of that fight. No, I think Danny should retire? Yeah, I think it's time. Not I don't. I spiritual connections. Okay. Nah, yeah, that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about spiritual connections.
We done moved into another realm.
Yeah, spiritual connections. I feel like in that ring when I was seeing Danny fight after the second round, I just seen something in his eye, especially when his dad kept asking, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" Um, and I seen the way Danny was looking at his dad. This basically was trying to ask his dad with his eyes, "Are you okay?" You know, the spirit. I think the spiritual connection. What I'm talking about is the spiritual connection that Danny has with his father. Um, I'm thinking as both of these guys to sit back and relax and spend their time with their family and give it a rest for boxing. Angel has suffered a lot of some health issues and he had a stroke, and I feel like a lot of that came how they operate. If Angel's not 100%, Danny's not going to be 100%. That's what I mean by a spiritual connection. Some people have that connection with people like if they're not okay unless their other person is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like their person that they love, if that person's not 100, they're not gonna be 100. You know, I have that connection. You know what I'm saying with people, and I know that Danny has that connection with his dad as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about that because it was a lot of stuff. Like Danny was getting emotional in interviews before this fight even happened when he was talking about his dad and stuff like that. So in my mind, he was already talking about retirement and stuff. So in my mind, I was thinking like, is this there was the writing was already on the wall. And Danny always said this. He's not gonna box if his dad is not in his corner. Like he's not gonna do it. He came in here with his dad. He's gonna leave with his dad. Dad been going through some health issues and stuff. Angel hasn't been looking the same, and I know how Danny loves his father, and I'm sure that weighs on his heart. You know, so yeah, um, that's what I was talking about, spiritual connections, and I think that right there, uh, you know, Angel man is a special type of guy. Angel blamed himself for Danny's losses. People don't know this. Like he done blamed himself for Danny's losses. I didn't even know this. Like I went back and looked. He was like, if he conducted himself a certain way, maybe Danny wouldn't have got losses and stuff like that in the past. Like he blamed himself for the time that Danny lost and got bad decisions and stuff like that. These guys are really in tune with each other. Their hearts are in tune with each other. So I think, yeah, it is time for Danny to because so much of the outside stuff and with his dad, you can tell that affects him, and that definitely can be the point where, like, even in the fight, it just wasn't there. Even when he went down, it didn't even seem like it was a real shot. It just seemed like it just wasn't there. More than just the layoff, it was just something else that was there. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to make this into some big dramatic emotional thing. I just feel like when you're spiritually connected with somebody like that, if they're not right, you're not gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that for life experience. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know for a fact it's documented. I love my brother Caden. If something was wrong with him and he wasn't right, I wouldn't be right. Same thing would happen, vice versa with me. When I wasn't right physically, my brother wasn't right. He had to say, I gotta get my big brother, I gotta get my brother right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I talked about being spiritually connected.
Yeah, I think you're not wrong for bringing that up, and to me, that's something that I noticed as well. That's why I said I don't think Danny Garcia's heart is in boxing anymore because he just didn't look like he wanted to pull the trigger. He didn't look like he wanted to take the risk. Now, if you're in the ring, you understand there's certain risks you have to take in order to win, especially when certain dynamics aren't in your favor. So, for example, if you're fighting a bigger, taller opponent who has a good jab and a good straight right hand, you have to know you got to get inside as a Danny Garcia, someone moving up and weight. You have to prepare for that in camp, which I'm sure he did. You have to come up with a strategy on how you're going to get inside, whether you're going to utilize the double jab and try to get inside, maybe even triple jab, get inside. Maybe you're going to utilize jab, side to side head movement to get inside. You have to come up with a strategy on how you're going to try to get inside. But most importantly, it's work just to get inside. Once you get inside, you got to do more work when you're fighting a guy like Lara. So you have to know that going into the fight. And it just looks like Danny may have done all that in training camp, maybe. But once he got in the ring, he didn't try to execute it. It was just he didn't want to do it. So his heart didn't seem like he was in the fight. Now, Trill, to kind of elaborate on what you said, at the end of the fight, they were talking with Angel Garcia, Danny's dad, and Angel said, I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. He said that. Now, you have to take that into consideration because when I heard that, one, I'm thinking, what's going on behind the scenes? There's things that go on behind the scenes. Like here at Boxing Bros, there were things that were going on behind the scenes that people don't know. So I give you an example. Like when we went to go see Deontay Wilder, we knew things at that time. And it was important for us to have a great time with our brother. It was important for us to have the memories with G because we knew he loved Deontay Wilder. So we wanted to take G to go see Deontay Wilder. And a lot weighs on you. Like that night, there was a lot on us. Like we wanted to make sure you had a great time. Don't broadcast that to everyone. There are a lot of things we don't broadcast to everyone. Things that happen behind the scenes, but you should just let things be and stop pressing certain things. But behind the scenes, I don't know what's going on with Angel. But I think what Danny was thinking was, I want to give my dad one last bang. What did they always do? Boxing. What bonded them? Boxing. It was, they became champion together. Their highlight moment against Amir Khan, the victory against Matisse, all those things. I think Danny was like emotional and he wanted to get back into boxing because he wanted to give his dad that moment we wanted to give G going to Wilder fight. Like I think he wanted to give Angel like that. I'm 3-time weight champion. I'm champion in 3 different weight divisions. We did it again. Like he wanted to give his dad that high moment. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do it because when he got in the ring, his heart's not in it anymore. But he had to find that out in the ring. So because sparring is sparring, like we always said. The one thing about sparring is it's not real. Sparring is preparation. So that's why when people think they're the best in sparring or whatever, you don't know how hard someone's going. You don't know you don't know if they were lifting weights earlier, now they're in there. But like on the night of the fight, it's something different because now you're getting this guy at his best. You supposed to be at your best, and Lara is already a tough assignment in itself. And that's why I said it looked like Lara carried him. Like I feel like Lara knew what was going on. Lara knew the situation. He was like, I'm not going to embarrass Danny like I could. I'm just going to finesse this victory. And even when he dropped Danny, like you said, bro, it just looked like it didn't look like Lara wanted to turn up. Lara looked like he could have turned up anytime he wanted to turn up. He just never turned up. Now, I don't want to give Lara too much credit because that's like every Lara fight, basically, right? Like Lara looks like he could turn up, but I do feel like he carried Danny a little bit, and it could be just because of knowing what he knows. But I do think there was a lot of emotion behind it. I don't think Danny really wanted to come back to boxing. I think that Danny wanted to give his dad one last thrill in the sport. And when I say one last thrill, it doesn't mean like that fight and that fight only. I mean like one last run at a title run as champion or whatever, and he just fell short. But with that being said, I do think Danny should retire. I didn't see the fire in him. He talked about depression and people will laugh at it, but he's going through a lot of things. And if you lost a parent or you lost someone you truly love, you already know what it is. But if you've been through it and you know the situation, you can't say that this man doesn't have a lot on his mind when his dad is going through health issues. His dad said himself, I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. Like, technically we can all say that, but his dad is saying that for a reason. His dad is saying that, like, basically saying my days are numbered. And that's how you got to understand what he's saying. So you can't tell me that Danny doesn't have other stuff on his mind. But still, like I always said,
August.
You said what?
Suffered a stroke in August.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Like I always say, though,
responsible for the financial responsibilities of his whole family.
Yeah.
Danny.
And life insurance, don't know if we got it, medical insurance and medical bills, all types of stuff. I don't know. But as I always say, though, once you step between the ropes, there's no excuses. What we saw in between the ropes from Danny Garcia, it wasn't something I want to see again. And I like Danny Garcia. It's well documented here. Danny Garcia is one of my favorite fighters, but I don't want to see Danny Garcia go out like that. So for that reason, I would just say, Danny, you've done enough. I think you've done enough to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. You're not going to be a first ballot, but I think over time you'll get in the Hall of Fame. I think you can call it a career. You got nothing to be ashamed of.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm the Commissioner Trill Dollar Bills, my brother Caden. It's LLG for life. We are the Boxing.